Hello all, how are you? Thanks Gids for the wonderful opportunity. Yeah, for a minute that you all might thought that my microphone is not working. Well, it may be true that many of us will immediately think about that the product that we use, the technology we use, that may not be working. But just think for a second that are we really using it properly? Are we really picking the right technology or the product? So in this case, for a few seconds, I demonstrated saying that I just didn't speak at all. My actions, but there is no voice coming out of my mouth, so that microphone cannot really receive it. There is an expectation from this product that if I speak, it can actually transfer the data, and then we have speakers there. But I didn't even speak. So I did not use this microphone properly. So what I'm trying to say here, so it is us, first of all, think about it, are we really doing our job right? So in this, working in Broadridge, and Broadridge we have in this service for financial industry for more than several decades, and I've been into this same company for a long time. I've seen a lot of different applications and technology we've been using for a long time, very, very long time, maybe decades. So with that, I could imagine, or I could leave it to your imagination, that how many types of technologies that we may be using it over the period of years. And then applications are actually designed for a reason, for at that time 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but over a period of time that we needed to change them. And we need to understand how to change them to be relevant with the current technologies and all that. So with that, and I wanted to see a reason that why every developer and everyone has to have a mindset that how an application transformation should be. So my intention is today to speak about, so when you really go to an application to change, think about or bring new technology into an application, you really need to follow the basics. I know we really fly over, Venkat really covered the very nice topics and the setting of the nice tone in this conversation today, that we have the passion. Every developer, a lot of you are young talent, and everyone is going through a lot of different technologies in the world, and Google it and you'll find a lot of them. And every technology has its own meaning, and every technology has its own significance to bring in. But does it mean that we can use it everything? Absolutely not. So that is what we would like to do it here, and we will cover a few more points, the basics. I mean to say that application transformation 101, very basic, fundamental. Sometimes we forget to look into it. So that's the, and this is where it starts with everything. Question. Everything we have to start questioning it. So here, these three words looks like so simple, but they are so powerful. And we simply tend to ignore it on a daily basis, or when we work it. Why are we doing this? What are we doing this? And where are we really doing this, or where do we need to do this? So that's where we need to question. If we actually question ourselves every day, let that be a small function or a program or a technology or an application, anything that you come across, this, if you don't get answers for this, I think you are not doing right. Absolutely not. You may be passionate about the technology, you've been using it, but what's the point if it is not really doing the job what is needed? So then how? I'm sorry, just gone. How is something that I'm not really bothered on how, because many of you are really very talented, and it's very easy to get this information from online everywhere. We can find it out. But the first top three questions are very important for us. Now, this covers why question, drivers. What are the drivers for us? Why we needed to change our application, if at all, if you want to do a change. Why we wanted to bring a technology to our application, if at all you wanted to pick a technology. So with that, there are a few drivers that I would like to CPR, cost, performance, reach. Many of our applications, changes, transformations, updates, you name it, fall into the majority of the 90% will fall into the category of the top three. Either it is cost related, or performance related, or reach. Reach, what I mean to say, is like that you wanted to expand your user base. You wanted to increase your usage patterns. So it has to be at least one of them. Here I am actually thinking about either it is mid-scale or small scale or enterprise application, very large application, doesn't really matter. anything, it falls into one of those categories. Or you wanted to do the customer experience, you wanted to improve it. Of course, in this modern day, customers also very knowledgeable persons. It's not like that long time back that we have to have the desktops and we don't have much knowledge how to use a particular browser. Now, everybody knows, even kids knows how to use it. So usability is increasing. So it is important for us to pay attention on the customer experience. And as technology and infrastructure, obviously, this would be the top challenge that we also face it. Sorry. Market and regulations, we will not have much choice but to go as per the demand of the needs of our business needs. But in these drivers, it could be mix and match. Not necessarily that it's just a cost or performance or reach. So there is an opportunity that we need to find it out. Okay, a market regulation has been pushed. Then we need to fix it. Then can we take an opportunity in that moment? I've been seeing that. I think a lot of you are developers. You've been working on an application. You can suggest. You can be part of any conversations here. Don't ever just think that, okay, I'm just getting a task and I'm actually doing this job. Why do I need to worry about all these things? But that's not the goal here. Everybody have to have the skin in the game. What do I mean by that? So unless and until everyone, whoever involves in the project, stakeholders doesn't mean that it's only business sponsor or the project manager or someone, everyone, including the lowest, the developer, the smallest task that you deal with. Then in that case, how do we really communicate upscale or downtime anyway? You can suggest, okay, by the way, I have a performance issue. We are thinking about this regulation change. Can we include in this? Well, why not? We don't want to, nobody in a company that don't want to spend too much money for no reason. They wanted to see the best out of it. Every penny that we put it, okay, that we wanted to see the golden value out of it. So with that, we can combine many of these. And now we talked about some of the drivers, and now the strategy we want to pick it. Okay, so a lot of companies that we deal with, and everyone has a technology-centric or business-centric. Some are technology-centric is very important. The reason is that their motive is to reach the people, is the technology. Obviously, the technology is the top concern. Technology is the top priority. In that case, they have to have on the top of the curve and the top of the industry. But in other cases, business is there. They don't really care what technology you're using it. Is it really doing the job what we designed for? That's all they care. And now we have to have a mix and match as well. So that's the strategy we need to think. And approach. Here, well, don't just come to a conclusion, I mean to say early conclusion, without doing a 360 degrees analysis. Every change you do it, every screen you design, or every application that you wanted to bring a change. First of all, think, okay, do I really need to do a change? Is that necessary? Or can I tolerate it? The reason why I'm asking this question is, and why I'm trying to bring it up also, you need to think of the eyes of from the top management to the lowest as well. Because everybody wants to see what I'm going to put in, what am I getting it. Obviously, right? So nobody wants to spend money for free and just for passion. The passion you guys are, we might have it, use the technology, but why do we have someone technology, a passion in the senior management expecting a product, how to work it? In that case, you know what, on this case, it is okay to tolerate for now. We don't need to change it. Or, want to eliminate it. Well, there is a product for long time sitting, it is not really doing a great job and it is not really necessary. Sometimes it is very tough to spend a lot of time, lot of amount on to change a product, rather we want to eliminate it. There is nothing wrong in it. Don't put your emotions into your product. You've been working 10 years, so what? You're going to go with another product. Are you really sitting with even Java 1? No, we are Java 9 today. So that's how we grow. We are not keeping our emotions to a particular technology and application. We got to move on. Then let's eliminate it. That's it. It actually is not just solving the problem, it actually saves the money as well. And now, update, all right? So then we can update it then. If we can't tolerate, we can't eliminate, why don't we update? Then we can do that too. Or transform. The transform, okay, now it is the time to think about the transformation. Okay, we looked into 360 degrees. It is worth for us to go and to do the transformation completely. And here, assessment. Now we know why we are doing it, and now we know what are we doing it before. And now we need to think about where we are doing the change. Okay, transformation doesn't mean that we want to change the whole stack, everything, not necessarily. We need to do the proper analysis. Where is our money goes? Where is our energy goes? How much time that we want to invest in which area so that we can get the best out of it. Okay, we cannot simply throw everything, clean the desk and put it again, not necessarily. And then we can actually look at it, is that environment is something that we wanted to transform, a language, or a database, or integration with other applications. Or sometimes you want to do it only partial, not full. That's also very well true. And it's an immediate or future. It is very important to understand what is immediately that we needed. If it is immediate, then let me know. Let me tell one thing. You cannot put a lot of energy. You cannot really estimate or understand the power of the technology or the limitations of the technology that you are going to use it. In such cases, you better go with the ones that you know pretty well. Because the reason I'm saying this one, most of the times our passions will drive our approaches, and let's put it, you know what, I wanted to use this technology, let's bring it in. And then immediately, no, we want to deploy it in the next 2 months or 3 months. Okay, so can we deal with POC? No, we don't have time for POC and all that stuff. Let's get in. That's it. We will get in. Now, started. So what? What happens now? End of the day, it is completely upside down. When you really wanted to see the end product, oh my God, is really? Oh, I did a bad job. So we shouldn't really think of this. The reason that I'm emphasizing these, all the basics, though you know or heard or sometimes that you're following all these things, but the point is, you have to really think each and every aspect of this from the day one, not the day 100 or 300, the end of the project. The reason is, anything we do in the initial stage is very less expensive and useful. It actually quadruples or even 5 times or 10 times the cost will go. If you leave a bug to a QA or go to production, imagine that how much time that you spent in the production. In the development, it's so easy. The same calculation, think about that way. Now, I'm just illustrating here a few web technologies that we have it around, hanging around. I know we can't really read all of that, but the point is to say, we have these many technologies, Java components and APIs spread across, and tools, we have various tools, all different varieties, whether you quality related, JVM tuning, everything. And the big data landscape, oh my God, we have lots of varieties of big data around it here for us. But every technology that we've been seeing it from last several years, it has a meaning for it. All it matters, how do we pick it? What do we need to pick it? Doesn't matter that it is something that is a big product that we want to use it. It doesn't really matter. It may be a small, but it is actually useful to us. The cloud landscape, the similar example. Now I want to get into the important points here. The process. Please remember, process is not overhead. Many of the folks, especially the developers community, I'm not separating you from me on a wall, we actually grow from there, but I believed now that the process is really, really important for us to get where we want it to go, because it puts all the controls in place for us so that we can think properly, we can analyze properly, we can get there where we want. And end in mind, if you don't have that, forget about that. Whatever you use it, how great you do it, doesn't really work. Monolithic to micro. We are building this gigantic and big applications, and when we are not actually trying to transform to micros, you're going to face the same challenge after 5 years. You better think about into micros and small building blocks so that we can have the flexibility to update and changes as we go, the technology. And the futuristic, you got to be futuristic thinking. And these are the things I wanted to watch you guys. Watch during your transformation. License, are there any license challenges that you needed to face? Upgrades, deviations. Of course, everyone will think about a great intent. When the project started, we have all intentions, good intentions. But over a period of time, while we are deploying or while we are developing it in QA, the deviations would come. We want to start here, but we'll end up on here. So be careful with the deviations and integrations. And the product that you're using, and please aware of the support, that what kind of support that you're getting it. And community support. Every project, every product that we use it, a technology we use it, is this really community has been used very extensively that we can get a lot of support. So now these are the pay attentions for some of the things that you already know. And the last but not least, you have to be relevant. You have to be fit to purpose. If these two are missing, there is no use of the transformation. There is no use of the change. So please understand this and try to take into your life. Thank you very much for the opportunity.